The hot topic of the hour, a huge win for President Trump as a New York appeals court vacates the nearly $500 million penalty against him in his New York City civil fraud case brought on by State Attorney General Letitia James. The president declaring total victory on Truth Social, writing, quote, "I greatly respect the fact that the court had the courage to throw out this unlawful and disgraceful decision. This decision does not vacate the fraud liability ruling," something AG James noted, saying she's going to appeal, while the five-member judge panel largely says that James acted within her authority to curb Trump organization practices. The penalty was egregious. One judge even saying there were no victims in the case, and James's actions were, quote, "not market hygiene, but political hygiene." And I think that's the fine point on all of this, Elizabeth, is that, as we talked about with Congressman Van Drew last hour, Letitia James ran on a platform that she was going to take down then private citizen Donald Trump.
Which is the opposite of what you should do, right? Trying to go in as an attorney general, you should not be claiming before even going in, I'm doing this to take down Donald Trump, who then obviously was a candidate running for office. Everyone saw through this case. That's the problem, right? Even Democrats were secretly celebrating because this was going to hurt Donald Trump, who they hated so much. But now I'm sad that we're, years later, this has happened and there's no explanation, no remorse. No one has to say to the American people, sorry, we wasted your time. The tax dollars in New York, no one has to say anything at all. We just move on and say, whoops, we failed. Donald Trump still won. And we may have, weaponized the justice system a tiny bit, but we keep moving.
Well, but at the end of the day, John, it had the opposite effect of what the Letitia James and the Joe Biden of the world wanted to see, which is they wanted to see Donald Trump in jail. And they got the opposite. He's now in the White House.
Right. They found out the hard way that not every American is a left-wing New York City Democrat. OK, it really it bombed outside of New York, if you like. It bombed off Broadway, this whole attempt to politicize justice against Donald Trump. Elizabeth is right. This was, a waste of resources for the judicial system in New York City. I mean, a lot of these resources would have been better directed at pursuing real criminals instead of this supposed political criminal Donald Trump. And you're making it look as though justice is being handled in New York City in a manner that would resemble what we might find in a third world country. It's a very, very sad story, and it underscores the sad state of affairs in New York City as far as the application of justice is concerned. And let's not forget, Mamdani is just like Letitia James in that he's running on this platform, this anti-Trump platform. If you vote for me, you're voting against Donald Trump, and that's something that can only be applauded.
Well, and you know what? At this point, that may be working on New York City residents, but that does not work as a national strategy at all. So, we'll see. Marie and I were saying President Trump probably someone's going to have to get involved in this mayor's race. But anyway, I digress.